Okay, so let's be honest, this is not a video about Smurfs, but my car did get Smurfed along the process. So today I have this new roof rack that I just picked up and I'm going to figure out a way to put it on. Also, I was kind of lucky because the leftover hardware from the bumper will fit perfectly on the roof. So what I'm going to do is put them in the grooves of the body so that way I can have a flat mounting surface for the back. And as for the front, I just happen to have tabs that lined up with these holes perfectly. So I got lucky there. So this is what it's going to look like from side to side. And at this point, I still have to figure out how I'm going to mount the front. But it's going to be pretty easy from here to get those onto the body. I'm just going to go ahead and weld those directly to the body. And for the front, I'll have to make a custom tab because I want the whole thing to still be able to be bolted on and taken off easily. Right here I got the weather stripping out so it didn't cause a fire, and it also gave me a little deeper that I can put it into the body. After that, all I had to do was prep the surfaces on the body of the car and the parts that I was going to be welding together. Now that I have all my surfaces prepped, I just have to realign everything and make sure it's going to be right where I want it. I have a little mark to guide me at the edge of the body line. Now this next step was pretty important. I put the roof rack on there before I started welding, so that way I can make sure that from side to side the roof rack was aligned to not only the body lines of the body, but also the roof line, so that way it wasn't too high in the back or too high in the front. So it was just an extra step that I took to make sure everything was properly on there. And it was just burning it on. And it was pretty easy to do, except for the fact I started running out of welding gas, so I had to stop. Perfect. Now, to put them on. So now we got those bolted on, welded on. Now I'll probably just cut that much of that off, and then I'll come up from the top and I'll cut this off just so everything's a little more uniform, but I haven't decided whether I want to just throw a hoop on here or leave that surface for hooking something to. I found when you're packing in and out, it's easier to have something to hook it to. So here is where I'll have to figure out how to finish that area. But now I got that leveled. It's looking really nice up there. Okay, so coincidentally, the rest of that kit had some big bolt holes in it that will fit perfectly with the front and align with one of the existing bolt holes in the roof rack and the two existing bolt holes on top of the body. So no more welding on here. Everything else is going to be bolted on. And now for a little burning. In hindsight, I would have taken a little more paint off of there, but you know, that is hindsight for you. All right, round two, a fight. Dare I say that came out a little better. Alrighty, so as a last finishing touch, I went ahead and I painted the roof rack and the holder on the side. And the spray paint was running out, so I decided to use that speckle that was coming out of it to try to give it a little bit more depth. I'm not much of a painter, but I think I pulled it off. We'll see when it goes back on. Alrighty, so last but not least, to finish off this part of the video, I made these to contour to the sides of the body. As you can see, like the rack back there, but I made a set for each side and I decided not to use the passenger side one. So I still have these that I'm going to go ahead and throw probably right there. And what these are going to do is provide a mounting surface near the front of the vehicle. If I strap anything to the hood or whatever I want to do. And I think I'm going to go ahead and throw half a sprocket on each side just to make it look a little more aggressive. So let's see how it works. So generally I like to speed everything up when I'm doing the tasks that are pretty repetitive. But for this particular point, I wanted to show a little bit of the actual cutting process. You don't really realize how many sparks and all the lights that happen when you're grinding metal, but it is pretty cool to watch in slow motion. And this is just for your enjoyment to see kind of what it looks like if you were able to slow it down. Most of these processes, like cutting that tube, would only take a matter of seconds. So it's cool to be able to give it a different level of appreciation to see it slow down like this. So this is a 1-inch tube, so if I put something a little under ½ an inch underneath it, then it'll space this up enough to sit on there properly. So where it's right in the middle. All right, so now what to do is to mock up where this is going to be and then match the other side to it. Go ahead and throw that on there. And now to drill out the pilot holes for those, now that I got those punched. Okay, so this nutsert tool is super awesome, because you just throw that in there, give it a little twist, make sure it's on there nice and snug. There we go. And then you untwist it. You have a place to run a bolt into, so you don't have to take out your fender liners or any of that stuff. And you got a nutsert right there. Okay, well that does it for the front. So now I got the sprocket spikes on the front. I think they add a pretty awesome look to it. Looks angry. I like it. And then we got the roof rack, of course. I got some speckle in there too. I did that intentionally, so hopefully that comes across as intentional and not like it was an accident. Either way, I'm loving the way this thing is turning out. Well, as always, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it. I got a few more things in the pipeline for this particular build, and then that's pretty much all I have on the table for now. It's really cool to walk out to this car and just kind of see it and see the looks that it's getting around town as I'm driving it. Its best saving grace is the 33 miles a gallon, though. It's pretty insane that this car, even with what I've done to it, is still achieving that kind of mileage. So I'm happy to have it, and I'm happy to have you watching, so thank you. Please like and subscribe, and check me out next time.